Hello, everyone. This is Frank Jernigan, also known as Phrancko, and you have stumbled into the Phrancko Sweater Knitters meeting. We meet every week at 2:30 Pacific time, and we welcome anyone to come join us who feels interested in knitting anything, in fact, and just come share your work and have fun hanging out with us. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hi, Wally.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Cindy and Cathy.
Hello.
Hi, Ron.
Hello.
Hi, Sidra.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Judith.
Hi.
Hi, Sumner.
Hi.
Would you believe that I still don't see Jenny this week?
Oh, wow.
It's still a black square.
That is bizarre.
That is
Yeah.
really strange.
And you're a Commonwealth country.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. We've
Well,
obviously had a row, Judith. We're just not telling everybody about our row.
Oh, wow. Haven't heard that
Ron,
phrase in a long time.
Thanks for letting me bug you, Ron.
Oh, of course. Tim's been picking it up.
He is amazing. I love him.
Are you
Yes, it's great.
painting?
I am.
Sets? Are you painting a set for your play?
I am. Yes.
Oh,
So I am at the theater today.
Ah,
Well, there's a pair of Full House couldn't beat. Look at those two going.
Yes. How did you two get together?
I just made a reservation and flew up here.
So you're just visiting for a while.
I'm just visiting for a few days.
Yeah. Well, I'd always said it's like, if anybody gets up here, come visit me. And so I'd said that to Cathy, and she said, "Do you mean it?" And I said, "I really mean it. Come anytime." And so she said, "How about if I come early May? Could I come on this day and leave to this?" And I'm like, "Yes." So she came yesterday, and then we'll go back home on Tuesday. And we're just having a great visit and
Yeah.
talking about knitting colors.
Mostly talking about knitting.
Yeah. Fair Isle, different stitch patterns, designs, knitwear design.
And she has a dog, Frank. This is Chili, is the cutest little dog. You would love him.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. And I don't even miss mine, and that's sad.
Well, I love your dog.
I miss her a little bit. Just a little bit.
But we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So the offer stands if anybody wants to come visit. Cathy will say it's a nice place to stay. The bed is comfortable. It's
Yeah.
quiet.
Quiet.
Careful, you just issued that invitation to a few hundred people.
Well, if they're Phrancko folks, they're good folks.
That's right.
Yes, but it wouldn't be just easy to find.
No,
You have to know where you're
you
going.
have to know. Yeah.
So what's the play, Ron, that you're putting on?
Peter and the Star Catcher. What?
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a play based on a novel, which is sort of like a prequel to Peter Pan.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's sort
So
of the
are you-
events that took into. Go ahead.
Are you directing or just doing sets?
I'm a fire putter outer.
Oh,
Just
well, that's an important job.
so someone has to paint these things. So here I am painting.
And when are you due to open?
Friday.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
at least you didn't say tonight. It could be
No,
worse.
not tonight.
Right.
So yeah, I'm get it done.
That would
So you-
have been a big fire.
Yes. So there, I'm painting. Well, I don't know. Wood grain on everything to make it look like crates. So
Oh,
I,
wow.
Oh,
I thought
Nice.
it was. I thought it was wood.
oh, nice.
That's
Oh gosh,
wild.
that is good.
Oh, you're talented.
so that's level one.
You're painting
You had to pick up a lot of little skills in the theater. So
you've
You want that?
abandoned Tim then and left him to the shop, have you?
yep. I made him teach an amigurumi class this morning, but he's been making enough amigurumi that I feel I was just like, "Are you ready for class today? Yes, you're on."
Uh-huh.
Oh, I bet he'd be a good teacher for that.
Mhm.
Yes.
Really,
So
really likes it.
and then yeah, I made a stop at Michael's and got some supplies and saw what was new in the world of mass market yarn. Nothing. And now I'm here.
Well, I do have a yarn question.
Well,
And
first, let me greet Joellen. Joellen, we see you're coming in, but we can't see you. Oh, there you are.
There we are.
Hey, Joe Allen.
Hey, Joe Allen.
Long time no see.
Yep,
There she is.
yep. Hey.
Sorry, I'm tardy.
We'll take it.
Well, welcome.
Thank you so much. How is everybody?
Good.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Good. It's good to
Sassy,
see you.
sassy.
Were you in the midst of something and as I burst in, or?
Somebody said something, and then I said, no, let's greet Joellen. And I can't remember who said
Oh,
what.
that was me,
Cindy
but
has
Cindy.
I forgot.
Cindy had a yarn question.
Yarn question.
What's a yarn question? Oh, let's see.
Oh, a yarn question. Okay.
Question. Hang on. All right. I know what it was. I am knitting from you guys last week I watched last week, even though I wasn't here, from Ron's thing, the ridicule.
Oh,
So I'm knitting this, and the color I'm using for my variegated stuff was a skein that I had. It's the Spin Cycle dyed in the wool. How do you choose, or is there a specific nomenclature that's used for how often the colors change? Because this does change, but it doesn't, it changes really, really slow. I mean, the whole thing has been this kind of weird blue color. And so I know like variegated has a whole bunch of little colors and it's little short bits, but
yeah. Usually this is referred to as a color change or a color shift, and people will refer to the color change as long or short.
okay.
I have not heard that. I mean, and that's kind of casual. It's how like a sales rep might describe it to you, or how like a yarn person conversing with them might describe it to you. Like, this is a long color change yarn, meaning the colors shift, but it takes a long time. This is a
Yeah.
short color change yarn. Like, it just goes for a few inches and then the color changes. So yeah, long or short color change yarns.
And then in between would be self-striping yarns. Those are neither short nor long. I mean,
Right,
if long
those-
means from end to end of a skein.
Yes, long means from end to end. of
Because
a
I've heard
stick.
the
So,
self-striping in socks sometimes.
yeah,
And-
a self-striping yarn would be
They'll
very
go
strong.
3 times around.
Yeah, but self-striping yarns are specific to what kind of project they're meant to self-stripe in.
Right.
So if you try and knit a, you know, summer top out of a self-striping sock yarn, you're going to get flashes rather than anything self-striping.
Yeah.
But if you try and knit, like a baby booty out of one of those child's like jacquarding yarns that has like the little flower designs that appear in them, you're just going to get a pink booty with like a little green tip.
Yeah.
So
see,
self-striping yarn.
I did a little sweater for Morgan with something that was like that it had a whole big part that was plain, and then it had the little thing where it looked like the little leaves, and then it was supposed to be cherry blossoms or something. And it did, of course, because I was doing a size 2, and that was what the pattern was, either a size 2 or a size 3 for this particular yarn. But I didn't know the kind of name for what to call it or ask for or anything else.
Yeah. A long color change or a short color change yarn, depending. And it sounds like the one you're using is a pretty long color change.
I think
right?
it is longer. It was just what I had here, so
Yeah.
that's what I was using.
Of course, they can easily become short color change yarns with the help of a pair of scissors and a darning needle.
I thought about doing that. I have done that before when I did a big shawl, and it's like, oh, I'm tired of that much pink. I want more green, or you know. And I just took the scissors to it. Of course, there was a zillion ends to weave in, but the color turned out the way I wanted.
What I don't have here to show you all is I finished my that little baby sweater that I was working on.
Oh yeah.
It was blocking. It was in the blocking water when I left work. Tim was going to lay it out for me, but that had ends. It's like, oh God, I've gotten spoiled to Phrancko's. Goodness, but that had ends. But yeah, but again, that's not like an official term, but it is. You'll find it for dyed in the wool yarns like Spin Cycle, which do that barber pulling generally, and they look like a hand spun or a fractal plied,
but they're not. Yeah,
but they're not. They're just the roving is dyed or the wool is dyed and then spun on a machine, and then some are dyed that way. And it is confusing because some yarn manufacturers will call those paints, like such and such yarn exists, and here's a new version of it called such and such paints. And you see that often, but not often enough to distinguish it from other things that are called something paint that don't do that at all, or that they're a hand-dyed version, or they're a speckled version.
So what are the knitted wit yarns? I've got some here, but I can't lay my hands on it right now. But it's like the whole skein, if you look around it, if you open it up, it'll be like green on one end, and then there's some white, and then there's black, couple blotches, and then it's pink. But if you were to go to, like wind that, then it's bits and pieces. It's not.
Yes. So there are two ways. I'm holding forth. I hope it's blah, blah. There are two ways a hand dyer might approach making a variegated yarn. You would call both of these types a variegated yarn. So a knitted wet or a hand dyed variegated. One that is just tone on tone, like it's one color, but it's taken unevenly, or it's just adjacent colors on the color wheel, and it has, that is a tonal yarn. So we'll put that aside. And then after that, we have variegated. And those can be dyed across or splattered. So if you have, I don't know if someone has a skein of hand-dyed yarn handy, but a dyed across skein, the skeins are all laid out lengthwise. And it might be that, can you open that up? If you don't mind. And it might be that it's green right here, and then brown right here, and then yellow right here, or what have you. And so each individual length of the yarn, that's a speckly yarn, right?
Yeah, that's a speckly yarn.
I've got a knitted wit here.
Do you?
Yeah, but you can talk.
Let's look at Sidra.
Yeah.
I'm looking for her. Wait a minute.
Sidra,
Sidra,
where are you?
where
I'm
are you,
right here.
Sidra? Oh,
It's
there
so
you
dark.
This is one of my knitted wits.
Ah, yeah, that is a perfect example of a dyed across skein. So she could arrange that so it's yellow on one end, pink in the middle, and then green on the other end. And any given length of yarn is just going to repeat those colors. It's going to go green, pink, yellow, pink, green, pink, yellow, pink, green, pink, yellow, pink, all the way around. This is when you get hand-dyed yarns that flash and pool, because if you're knitting a tube that doesn't change size all the time, so like at the top of a sweater when you're shaping it, it might look nicely variegated. And then when you get to the body and the stitch count isn't changing anymore, it's a spiral. Or it's a just like flashes that repeat. On a flat piece, like a scarf, it might argyle. You use these for planned pooling projects, which are distinct from assigned pooling projects. I do a lot of yarn research on knitting trends.
Well, you should. You own a local yarn store.
Yeah, that's true. So when people say they hate yarns that flash or they hate yarns that pool, the yarns that are dyed, like the ones Cinder just hold up, are the ones that will do that. The ones that are dyed across, so called because there'd be 5 or so skeins in a row in a tray maybe, and the dye is poured across all 5 of those skeins in stripes. The other type, the speckly type, or more randomly dyed yarn, might just have yarn that is dye that is spattered on at random, or poured onto it at random, or dry dye might be sprinkled onto it at random. So it doesn't pool in the same way. There's just kind of flashes of color throughout at more or less random intervals. So you can see the skein that Cindy's holding, there's not like a purple chunk or a yellow chunk. It comes and goes throughout the skein, whereas Cidra's skein would repeat those 4 colors over and over as you knit.
How do they dye such a yarn as Cathy is holding now? I mean, that seems, how do they,
As Cindy's holding?
how is that dyed? I can't imagine. The other one, I can imagine they pour it across in areas, but this one is like, what?
So some dyers will make up dye stock by mixing the powdered dye with liquid and just pour it on like pip, 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 pip. And then there are dyers that apply like sprinkles. Some dyers to manage the pH of the yarn as it's dyeing, because you have to keep the pH at a certain level for the dye to strike or not. Mix powdered dye with rock salt or coarse salt and sprinkle it on from like, I'm imagining, like I'm eating pizza. One of those things is sprinkle. Other places might mix dye with a thickener, like agar, and just like bloop it on like finger painting, or make like Jackson Pollock. This is Jackson Pollock.
Never
go to the Jackson Pollock hot dog on a stick at the Museum of Modern Art. I think I'm so funny. Could you imagine just covered in ketchup? Others might take like a toothbrush and dip it in the dye and run their finger across it to create a very fine splatter. There are as many techniques for that as there are dyers, but those are the main categories you'll see hand-dyed or hand-painted yarns fall into.
Sounds good.
Back to my crate. Sounds
Well,
like
not quite yet. So your delish came in so quick. I got this delish yarn from Ron last week, and I did a swatch of it. It's so silky. It's beautiful, and it's nice and fine, but it has a halo on it, like a fuzz.
I see it.
that I think maybe not an entire sweater of, unless we think that if I shave it with one of those pill shaver things, will the Pilling Come Back? That one's for Cindy.
Yes,
It will. Okay.
sorry.
That's all right. That's what I want to hear. And then Ron,
Yes.
I got the Kelborn woolens fingering.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so excited about that.
And Dora, right?
Yeah. Because that's like that woolly yarn that I love.
Yes, it very much is. Yes.
And I know you're not shocked that I went back to that one because
Not
yeah.
in the least.
yeah, it's that woolly, just really lovely yarn. So what was it so I maybe will not be able to get a sweater's quantity of that maybe? Because something's going on with the yarn suppliers?
Oh, no. I'm sure you will. It was just if you had happened to order right then, H&H was this last week. So I know a lot of places might have like back orders that they haven't fulfilled yet because they've all been in Chicago for the last week.
Okay.
But it wasn't a long-term thing. It was just like this week they might be behind.
So I'm going to make one of those fun hats with 2 colors to test out what color I want to make my sweater out of.
Fun.
Will also give me a way to get a beautiful big swatch for Phrancko and then plug the numbers in to get the yardage. But I'm very excited about that one. Thank you. Your Star Trek hat was Kelborn.
Yes, that was Camper, right?
That was Camper.
Yes.
This one's the finer version of Camper. Camper, I think, was a sportish DK weight. This is like
and Dora is a
fingering.
little heavier.
Oh, it is heavier?
Mm-hmm. There's Cricket, which is the DK version of Camper. And then between Camper and Cricket, with a different composition, is Andorra.
So I could theoretically still knit it on 3s or 4s?
Easily. And it is a woolen. It will knit up or down the needle and still have a nice fabric, depending.
Okay, yeah, because my hope is to knit it on 3s.
Yeah, should not be an issue.
Yeah.
It is a pretty canonical sport weight.
And nice and woolly and crunchy.
Yes.
So woolen, you're saying is the way it was spun versus worsted spun. So it was, okay.
It's all fuzzy and poofy.
Yes, fuzzy and poofy versus combed, all the fibers aligned.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I like when the wool has a little crunch like tweed.
Yes, you like fuzzy and poofy.
It's not very smooth, but it's very woolly.
Fuzzy
Yeah.
and poofy.
Yeah, I don't know. I love woolly yarns. And that has little mohair in it.
I love to feel them, but if you put one on me, I don't know what might happen.
It's probably, it would be like if you had to wear shoes.
How could you?
Well, yeah, and it has mohair in it a little bit. So
Me when I was in Colorado, and the mohair is not brushed. It is the mohair is in the wool, like it is a component of the wool. Many people think of mohair and immediately think of brushed yarns. Brushed yarn is a type, is a yarn construction. Mohair can be made into any structure of yarn.
When I was doing a lot of spinning, I would do a ply of mohair for socks instead of using a nylon, and it really helped the socks hold up.
Yeah,
great.
It's quite tough then, is it, the mohair?
Yeah.
It's like a
okay.
British long wool.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
like British long wool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was looking at a blue-faced Leicester, but it ended up being so extraordinarily expensive, which I don't know. I think
heritage wools.
breed specific heritage wool, very expensive. Yeah, I want to beat the sweater up. I want to have it, I want to wear it out. I don't want to,
Well, the BFL would take it.
Yeah, I don't want to wear it once a
It's
year
staple.
though. Well, just I'd be nervous. It's so expensive.
I can't help with that.
So what's everyone working on this week?
I'm still doing the rectangles. I think I have decided on blocks of red and this white. Kind of
So
like
when
a
are you gonna finish your kimono?
Now there's pressure.
Pressured me.
I just can't get myself to bind off that last row. That's stupid.
Goodness.
I hear you.
Oh, one row.
Got the boobles.
Well, you need a new project, Mary, and then you'll have something to look forward to.
I guess so.
Squares, not squares.
There have been times I've had to finish a project because I wanted to use the same needles for my next project.
Yes.
But that was back a long time ago when I only had one set of needles. Now I've got like 30.
Yeah,
That doesn't work anymore as an excuse.
No,
yeah.
it doesn't.
You got more needles in the shops.
Right. It doesn't mean that I quit looking at them though.
No,
Yeah, no.
or buying them.
I was looking hard the other day, and the only reason that I survived not ordering them is I just couldn't figure out how to get my order in.
Do you know anyone with one fishing pole or one screwdriver?
No.
No,
You're not
they
like that,
don't.
right?
They don't. So I don't see why we should deny ourselves. I have a lot of socket wrenches. I can have a lot of yarn.
Maybe
I'm
that's what
back.
we should do next week is show all the stuff we have.
No, not online. No. My husband might watch this.
That is not our friend. I can't believe you would suggest that and to get us in trouble.
Yeah, we're gonna block him. Well,
He's the one, Judith, that should be the black square.
Yeah. Well, it's just show and tell.
I'm all for don't ask, don't tell. In this case.
Well, better yet, maybe we should show everybody all our yarn.
Another really bad idea, Walter.
we would need a movie screen just to show it.
That's right.
It's true.
There's a thread on Ravelry called Flash Your Stash. So usually towards the beginning of the year, it's very active when everybody gets all their yarn out, lays it all out over the floor or the bed or wherever, and takes pictures. And it's quite fascinating to see what other people have, and you can see what their favorite colors are, because they usually have an abundance of one type of color, or weight of yarn or something like that. Yeah, it's really quite interesting. Yeah.
That's funny. I love the name. I love what you called it, Flash or Stash.
Flash or Stash, yes. Yeah.
So Jenny, while we've got you on Zoom here, show us what you're working on.
So I am making a bag. It's a double knit, so it's going to be a bag. So this is the base. Oops, let's be better. This is the base of the bag. Yeah. So it's that, and then on the other side.
Oh, look at that.
Then the four sides are going to be the same motif on the 4 sides, but they'll reverse on the way round. So you'll have a black side and then it's
A
actually a
white
pale
side.
green. It doesn't show up. And then you put eyelets towards the top and then do a long eye cord to thread through the eyelets at the top. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be
That's cute. I like it.
Interesting projects and things that
I know.
we don't, you do the most interesting projects and things that we don't even necessarily see here. It's like,
Right.
where did you come up with that idea?
I just see random things on Ravelry and think, oh, I'll have a go at that.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Are they the same cross on both sides? I didn't notice that.
Yes, it's the same motif on both sides.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it's a nice, easy version of double knitting. It's not. Yeah, it's a straightforward double knitting. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm gonna have to watch the
Judith, it doesn't make sense that there's just one person you can't see.
I know.
Well,
I finished my
can you
seaside
watch
tea
it on
that I
YouTube?
made. Yeah.
Oh, that
Oh.
turned out.
This is
That's
the
what I'll have to
seaside
do.
tea that I made. And I
Oh,
thought
that
I'd
came
put
out
that on.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh,
Judith,
wow.
it's a beautiful gradient sweater.
Yeah.
Jenny's wearing a lovely striped top.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm
How
really pleased with
nice.
how that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be. That's
Wow.
gorgeous.
Mm.
Oh, and that's
I
a
said-
raglan sleeve top. Yeah.
No, it's a saddle. You can.
Oh, I
see.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a saddle sleeve set in shoulder.
Oh, I love
okay.
it.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is using Cathy's Knit Whiz. I'm trying to recreate it onto the Phrancko top down set in sleeve saddle on Cathy's Knit Whiz by trying to put the actual measurements of the sweater and getting the Knit Whiz to come out with the same measurements. And then I'm going to.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is make sure the underarm works correctly, because it's actually, you've got to start increasing on the body up higher than what a normal Phrancko.
Yeah. So once I'm comfortable that I've got all the measurements in right, I shall create the pattern and then do a read through and a comparison of the pattern off Knit Whiz to the pattern on here to make sure I've got broadly the same amount of stitches in all the different places and broadly the same amount of rows, because I'm putting that exact gauge in there. So I'm trying to like reverse engineer it, and then once I've done that and I can save it, then I can re-knit it at any gauge. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's a very clever way of getting your favorite sweater put in.
Yes. We had a challenging meeting on Thursday where I was asking lots and lots of questions about which actual bit am I measuring on there. Yes, but I think
And
we're
so
there.
that's the basis for a good article. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
But first, Jenny, you got my email, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, good. Because I do want to check that code and make sure I have that working correctly for top down.
Right.
So,
Okay, yeah.
I'm
not in any hurry.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, Phrancko, I had a question.
I'm sorry.
Doing your tab shoulder sweater, right?
Doing what? Saddle shoulder?
Doing your tab shoulder sweater.
Yeah.
Can I adjust the width of the tab or no?
It's not adjustable in the pattern. So it's the width of the top of the sleeve cap, whatever that is.
Okay.
And it just is. I mean, so it has to go from the neck straight across to the top of the sleeve cap.
Right.
So no, it's not adjustable.
But so, and the depth of it.
Depth.
So
You mean by
the
depth?
front to back measurement of the.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, because
Yeah, let's see.
from the neck to the shoulder, that's the length of the saddle. Right? And then the
Right.
width
That's the length, and the width is the
is
the
this.
width of the top of the sleeve cap.
Okay.
This is the sleeve. This is the sleeve cap, and at the top is a straight line of on a crew neck or the other patterns. It's a straight selvage edge that you pick up across. But in the saddle, it's that the saddle comes down from the neck down to there, and it's that width, whatever width that was supposed to be at the top of the saddle. That's what
Okay.
runs directly into the sleeve.
Okay. Because I'm gonna try to do the new sweater with the saddle shoulder and a V-neck,
But you wanted a different width of saddle?
but I want to make sure that the width of the saddle is enough. I want at least like 3 inches, I think,
Uh-huh.
which 3 inches isn't a lot, I don't think. Well, even two, 2.5, 3 inches.
Yeah, the yoke
So-
sweater I'm working on also has a saddle, and it's 3 inches wide. It may just
Okay,
happen
good.
to be that. I mean, I don't know. It all depends
Okay,
on
well,
the measurements.
It'll be worth it to pop it in and see what it looks like.
Yeah, just see what it looks like.
The
And it-
last saddle shoulder I generated for myself had a saddle of 4 inches.
Oh, we.
Okay.
So this
I
one is
I
a very
love the look
narrow-
of a saddle shoulder.
Yeah, this is a very narrow saddle. So this one is only 1.5 inches wide on the saddle. So it's a very narrow saddle.
Okay.
Which is better for a woman, a petite woman like you, Jenny.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the wider that saddle is, it's going to foreshorten the front, and it's going to make you look very broad-shouldered and shorter on top.
Yeah.
You're already
Yeah.
short-waisted and you're petite. You would
I
want
can't afford to get any shorter, no.
Don't want to get any shorter.
No, I can't afford to get any shorter.
Oh, no, I
I'm worried
always
about-
wanted to be short. That was my goal, right? Yeah, says nobody.
Yeah.
Oh, I did, because I wanted to be a ballet dancer. And that got blown out of the water.
If something is in my bottom cabinets, it does not exist to me. But
I aspire to reach the top shelf in the supermarket. That's never
Yeah,
going to
see,
happen either.
I can just look at the top of my fridge. Nothing ever gets lost up
But you can see the dirt on the top of your fridge. That's a
but
problem.
not under it. Tim sent me a photo of my sweater that is blocking, if you'd like to see.
Oh, good. Can you show the photo?
Let's find out. How do you do that on an iPad, one wonders?
Well, now we just see your thumb.
Did that do
Oh, there
something?
it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Look at that.
That was your yarns that you guys were dyeing when you gave the dye video for us. right?
Yes.
Dye thing. Oh, that's so cute.
As a child,
Very.
the body is made with some full-size skeins, and everything else is a little mini skein.
Oh, how cool.
Cute.
Really?
It turned out really good.
Yeah, it's cute. The hemlines all call for a tubular bind off, which I forgot when making the first sleeve. I just did an Italian bind off without doing the double knitting. So the sleeves have a plain Italian bind off on the 1-1 ribbing, but the top and bottom have a tubular bind off. You can't tell at a glance. But
It's okay. They're
it will-
different. They're different anyway, so why not do
Yeah.
a different bind off?
yeah, so I'm pleased with it. It's cute. It makes a chipper little sample. And so we had these mini skeins as a promotion. They're 20-gram mini skeins. So our promotion was, if you're on a yarn diet, we've got mini skeins for you. They're 1/5 the size, so you could buy 5 times as much.
That's true. That's true. How cute.
That was me. That's my show and tell.
Nice.
Well, you just accomplished something technologically that I don't think any of the rest of us could do. Sharing your screen on an iPad.
I can't even share my screen on the Mac.
A technological adaptation is a generational feature of the Zennials.
Thanks.
Thanks,
are-
Ron.
you are
In
funny,
one
Ron.
Yeah.
sentence, you just made me feel horribly old. Out of touch.
What's funny, because it was sort of seen as like a young person thing, right? That being able to just use a computer, except like the Gen Alpha kids who are in school now don't know how to type. Like,
They
Zoomers
don't.
can't use a keyboard. It's very funny. But I just started pushing buttons, which is, if you ask my mother, a lifelong personality trait of mine.
Mhm.
Very cute.
That's what I said. It's funny. She always tells me, "You're just like your dad," and it never sounds like a compliment.
It's funny. Yeah, I think I'm probably the last generation that had typing in school.
Yeah, we had typing. Well,
I
We
graduated
did
in
have typing
85.
too, yes.
Yeah.
You know,
We had typing, yeah.
ASDF, ASDF.
JKL semicolon.
Semi-stage.
my fingers are far too big
Gosh.
for the keyboards we had. But when I was in school, we still had like drafting classes. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got the tail end of it.
Oh, but see, mine was the keyboard, it was a manual typewriter.
It was more
Yeah.
like clonk, clonk.
You had a manual?
We
Yeah.
were given
Yes.
word processors.
Yeah.
We had a Selectric.
Yeah,
were
we had
big
electric
typers.
Oh,
typewriters.
really, Sidra?
Yeah.
Sidra went to a swank school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
I guess I
electric.
went to a wealthy school district.
Well, I'll share what I've been working on this week, and it's not knitting. It's a
Whoa.
program. I worked on the yoke program, and you know, the original that you can all see online now if you get a yoke pattern at Phrancko.com. It's
Yeah.
line by line instructions.
Oh, yeah.
So I worked on adding the option to have more concise instructions.
And
And the difference is rather extraordinary.
Someone's happy.
Okay, so first,
I don't-
you can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
First, I'll show
Even-
you what the pattern looks like. No, first, yes, let me go to the line by line instructions. All right. Here's what it looks like in the original. This is the yoke. And here are all the line by line instructions, 38 lines, and then the fronts and backs. And there are 41 more lines.
Oh, wow.
And so if you then see right here, it says the instructions are currently in the line by line format. If you'd like to see a more concise format, click here. So we click and we go down here and the yoke looks like that.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Those
glad you kept the
36
other way.
lines became this one line.
Huh.
Wow.
Work an increase round on those lines. You have to keep a marker or a count of which round you're on. And when you're on round 3, you do an increase round. And when you're on round 7, you do an increase round, and so forth. And here's what you have the old style sleeve cap shaping. And at the same time, or meanwhile,
Yeah.
you also shape the fronts and backs while shaping the sleeve caps. And those, however many, 41 lines turned into this.
Oh, wow.
Work a decrease round on rounds 3, 7, 13, 19, and 26, while you're also working all of these rounds, which are the usual concise way. Usual as in all the other Phrancko patterns are written this way with the sleeve cap shaping.
So you've been busy.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of work.
And I'm happy you kept the line by line.
Yes, I thought that was probably useful to people who don't want to do this at the same time. Just this past couple of weeks, I've been helping a knitter who has never knitted a sweater before, who contacted me about working a Phrancko sweater. And she was using the crew neck, which was the round neck version. And the closing of the front of the neck is deep enough that it overlaps with the shaping of the shoulders. So she had like 4 lines that had to be done at the same time. And so I ended up basically sending her an email writing out on this line, do this shaping on the neckline, and then do this shaping on the sleeve cap. And on the next line, do this. And it's like, it's really complicated for people to understand, especially new knitters. How do you do 2 different things at the same time on the same rounds, even though they're on different parts of the round? I mean, once you get the concept, it becomes, oh, you just follow these instructions when you're on the front of the sweater, and you follow those instructions when you're on the sleeve cap. I mean, it makes total sense to me, but apparently it's very confusing to other people.
I think it's because they don't visualize the schematic at the time that they're knitting it.
Oh.
They're just knitting by instructions, understanding, oh, I'm shaping when I'm going this way, I'm shaping the armhole.
Well, and it's not even for me, it wasn't just shaping. I'm kind of dyslexic. For me, sometimes it was, okay, I don't know, am I on the left front or am I on the right back? Or, and so I didn't really know where I was.
Right.
So it was confusing for where do I do stuff. I ended up doing that funny Excel spreadsheet that I did. That it showed, on this round, I just do the neck shaping. On this round, I do neck shaping and shoulder shaping. And
right.
I color code mine.
And that's where I've had to tear out every time, is on that at the same time. I'm
yes.
going, oh crap, so how did
I use colored markers on my paper, and so that I know that the green is the beginning of the round, the next color, blue, ends the green, and then on the other side of the sweater, I've got a pink and a red, so the red is the end, and then I'm never going to lose track. So colored the little stitch markers, the colored ones, very helpful.
that does good.
That's what I do too, Sumner.
And I never get lost.
And I don't get lost either that way.
And what I did the same thing you did, Cathy, but what I found with the Phrancko pattern, and I think it's mentioned somewhere, but you got to read the entire pattern through before you start.
Always.
Yeah.
Before you start. And that's a good rule of thumb for any
and
pattern.
you're saying no?
I don't do that because I can't if I'm reading halfway through, I'm a very visual and practical person. I need to be at that stage to understand what the instructions mean. If I'm not at that stage, I can't visualize what those instructions mean because I can't see what the rest of the sweater is. So I never ever read a pattern all the way through. I just start and go, because there's no point in me reading what you're doing at the underarms if I'm still at the top, because I can't imagine in my mind what the underarms look like at that point. So the instructions just make no sense at all.
Yeah.
So I totally understand why this lady said to Frank she can't visualize it, particularly as, depending upon what you're knitting, you could have an increase and a decrease in the same round. And if you can't visualize it, that makes no sense at all. Why would you increase and decrease?
Right.
Or why just don't do anything at all then? If you've increased and decreased, you haven't got but if you can't visualize what's actually happening, then it makes no sense at all.
Only you would say that. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're
I-
increasing on one part, decreasing on the other, they just cancel themselves out. So it
Exactly,
doesn't
yeah,
matter
that's why they
if you need to have
together.
more on here and less on the center. It's the same number, so who cares, right?
Yeah, who cares where it is? It's all there. Yeah, yeah.
It's fun.
I totally get that person you've been helping, Frank. Yes, that's me. I can't visualize, so I need the instructions, and I never read the pattern because I would just be confused.
Yes, I do have to say that it's very important to read every word of the instructions in the pattern and all the construction notes and everything. Otherwise, I don't think you'll have any hope of actually. I mean, I write them really precisely, and if it says make one here, then you better make one there. It's like it's very precise.
I'm a bit of a blabbermouth in my written patterns, but I often need my written patterns to be for people who have issues and have like learning style interferences that I've encountered over the years.
That's
Then
right.
you see my patterns. They're wordy. I have a conversational style. There's a T in front of me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm being upstaged by my tea.
You have a huge bottle of tea there.
I get very thirsty. Hydration is important to everyone.
Yes. Yes.
But it's like knitting socks. The first time you get to the heel, the instructions make no sense at all. You just have to follow them line by line by line, and all of a sudden a heel appears on a sock.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah, you got a good point.
Yeah.
And I love the heel flap. So yeah, I absolutely had to do that.
Yeah.
So who else wants to show us what they're working on?
Well, I'll show you mine. So I'm going back between working on Cathy's Angelica and the blanket.
Ah,
Oh, how nice.
Oh, I love that.
I'm now starting on the second shelf, which you really can't
yes,
get.
Isn't that
Yeah.
brilliant?
that's awesome.
How many shelves are there?
There are 10 shelves, I think. Something like that.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a really heavy blanket,
And very large.
really heavy and
Well,
large.
you know,
Yes.
weighted blankets are important to calm down, so maybe that's a weighted blanket.
Yeah.
It will be. It's supposed to be low. It's going to be a full-size blanket.
Is that Tunisian crochet?
No, it's double knit.
That's double knit. Wow.
That's double knit.
And you're doing that Portuguese double knit?
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't.
I can't. So I'm wrapping
Okay.
it around my finger.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking I wouldn't know how to do that. Portuguese. Like I think I would get stuck.
Ron had said that he's done it, and I tried it, and I can't do it. Yeah. So
Well, then I can't figure out how people do like the reverse side of a stranded knit without Portuguese. Like I'm a mess. It's everywhere. I can't. I know people do it. I don't know what they're doing. They must be very slow.
well, my goal
Okay.
this year is to learn stranded knitting. Not sure when I'm going to do it, but that's my goal.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah, I don't know how people do it. Like do the pearl side without, like, how do you manage your yarn? Are you just doing it one at a time? I guess my hands don't work that way. I end up with all knots at the end.
I don't know. I was watching one video, and the gal, is dropping the strand and going with the next one, next color, whatever it is, and dropping that one, and that seems like really slow.
You take a month to do a row.
So that's my project.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That
Well-
looks really great.
We don't ask questions like, when do you expect to finish that? So
It's going to take at least a year.
because we might never knit anything because we'll be so astounded at how long it's actually going to take.
Well, her birthday's in June, so maybe next June she'll get it.
Yes, yes, that sounds about right.
Or the June after, who knows?
Don't look now, but her birthday is in June, just turned into her birthday's next month.
I'm gonna be gone for a while, so yeah, don't have to worry about that one.
My life. Hello? Oh, hello, Salvador.
Well, I'm working on my poncho.
I'm off, everyone.
Bye,
Oh,
Ron.
Bye, Ron.
Bye,
Take it
Ron.
easy.
Nice seeing
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Everything.
Oh, wait, here you go. There's what I did while we were talking. Wait.
All right.
There it is.
Show and tell.
Great.
See you
Missed
all
it.
soon.
Bye.
Some other time. Bye, all.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, here's my poncho.
That's your poncho?
It's the second band on the front side.
Okay.
So then you just pick up and work out. So,
How long is it gonna be, Kathy?
well, you have to do for the pattern 3 sizes. So this is the small little mini kind of poncho, 18 inches. I think it goes to like there. And
Okay,
I'm thinking about putting fringe and beads on it. So we'll see. That I will decide at the end.
This is for your designer module, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
level 3. Yeah. But this goes pretty quickly, and then but the lace is going to go really quickly. Cindy let me borrow a size of
Ten.
tens. The lace will be knit on 10s.
Oh, blimey.
that's big.
Yeah,
Well, she had it done before on 8s, and it was like,
It
it
was
was so
too
tight and
tight.
you couldn't see the holes,
yeah,
because this has really a lot of fluff to it, you can
yeah,
see.
tons of fluff.
Oh,
It's,
Oh, wow.
oh, yeah.
and it's 2 strands, but it has a bunch of
Mhm.
really, really fuzzy. And so the lace was disappearing. And so it's like, you
Mhm.
need to do it. And it was a little too, it had a little too much body for what you want.
Mhm.
So it's like, try it on bigger needles, and then that worked better.
Yes, it's going to be an airy hippie throwback type of poncho. What did you come up with?
Oh, no, because it was something that you said, flecks of tweed, or
Oh yeah, flecks of tweed.
flecks of tweed. Yeah.
But no, I think I might call it airy hippie poncho.
Airy hippie poncho.
Very itchy.
Ron Rapoli is gonna click on that.
Not hairy hippie poncho.
Yeah, it'll make you hippie. Oh
Gosh.
yeah.
Anyway, we'll see how it turns out. I think it's going to be fun. That's all. That's what I really want. Something
Yeah.
fun.
And you won't look hippie.
Uh-oh, we all got quiet again.
Because we're
Okay, so-
waiting for you to show us what you're working on.
Ah, okay. I started that sweater, and I'm going to be doing it in 4 pieces, unfortunately, because I can't. My brain can't wrap around all around with this pattern. So here's the start of it.
Ooh,
Oh,
pretty.
I
Now-
did a tubular cast on for it, which I liked.
oh, looks nice.
Yeah, so it's coming out. So, this is Wool Ease wool from
Mhm.
Lion Brand, and the thickness is where they said it was supposed to be. So that is what I'm doing.
Nice.
Is it for you?
It's for me, yes.
They look nice.
I'm gonna call it what do you call it? The fisherman's rib, because it said it was a pullover, and that's all it's. but considering the knitting one below, it's a fisherman's rib, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do. So we shall see.
And
Ah, Judith.
Well, hello, Judith.
hi.
Oh, look at this. Ah.
Oh, my.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Ah,
you made a lot
Oh,
of
that's
progress.
beautiful.
Okay, those are gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
look at that. Mm,
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
that
That's
is
where I am.
that's outstanding.
Same thing in the back.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
Have you done both sleeves or just one at the moment?
Just one,
Just
because
one at the moment, yeah.
I was I'm almost finished. I haven't done the cuff is not done yet.
Yeah.
And I was starting to worry that I wouldn't have enough yarn to finish, so I decided to do the body, and then I'll be able to figure if I need maybe one other ball of the
Okay.
the yarn I'm using. I'm using a mohair, and I hold it with a sock yarn. So the sock yarn, I'm not sure I will have enough. I might need an extra 50 gram.
Well, you could have a unique design of a sweater with one long sleeve and one short sleeve.
A wannabe.
Yeah.
That's the new way here, Jenny. You're behind the times in England. That's how we wear them here.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Oh, I just want to say, if I say something wrong in English, don't hesitate to correct it or suggest the good way of saying something. I would not be insulted or whatever. I would appreciate it. Don't hesitate to do it. It will help me.
As
You're
someone who
welcome.
is studying Spanish for the first time to try to actually become conversant in it, I can understand that sentiment. However, I want to assure you, your English is just fine.
Very good.
And
Yes.
I picked up on
Very
you
well.
struggling over the tense of I have not knitted this, and it was perfect. You
Yeah.
said it exactly correctly, and then you decided to say it another way. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I identified the brain cycles you were going through, having done that in Spanish myself.
Yeah.
But your English is just perfect, and you don't need to worry about it.
Right.
Thank you, but
Yeah.
still, don't hesitate if I should say it a little different. I wouldn't mind hearing it.
That's nice. Well, it is that time to say goodbye for another week.
Wow.
And
Uh-oh. It was fast.
That went
really
fast.
enjoyed
Yes.
spending this time with you as always.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it was.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Next
Take it
Saturday.
easy.
Adios.
Bye.